I want to share a story with you that perfectly illustrates what's wrong with the media today and why Democrats and mainstream media outlets and people who care about the truth are at such a disadvantage. I was interviewing the Washington Post columnist Philip Bump on my podcast Beyond Politics, which you can find here on the Blue Amp channel, so please subscribe at the link right here. And I was asking him about the Republican Party's insane obsession with Hunter Biden and how their co-conspirators in the right-wing media have used baseless attacks to change Americans' perception of the president. You wrote that Republicans have already achieved a desired impeachment outcome because new polling, according to YouGov, shows that Biden and his family are now viewed as corrupt by only a slightly smaller portion of the public than are Donald Trump and his family. And of course, this is a situation where we can euphemistically say there is an asymmetry of facts, or as you put it in a piece that you wrote back on August 9th. So where's the bribe, James Comer? There's been a lot of gauzy rhetoric thrown out about the Biden crime family that's just, there's no there. So I asked Philip if this means that the media is failing, and he told me this story that just happened to him this week that illustrates the problem exactly.
It's a funny question to respond to today when Miranda Devine of the New York Post actually attacked me personally and made all these allegations that I was a dishonest actor and so on and so forth. Journalists and reporters and columnists like myself feel as though it is important to present to the world an accurate representation of what's happening. That means necessarily butting heads with people like Miranda Devine, whose desired outcome is to present a particular version of what's happening in the world.
For those who don't know, Miranda Devine is a right-wing media figure who says that global warming is a hoax, who has railed against marriage equality, who defamed a sick child, and of course, has been caught telling lies about Hunter Biden. So what's the problem? It starts with the fact that there's an entire right-wing media apparatus that supports people like Miranda Devine and Republican politicians like James Comer, who get to just make stuff up and throw it out there. Here's how Philip put it.
James Comer, the House Oversight Committee, for example, is misrepresenting the amount of information he has tying Joe Biden to Hunter Biden, which, of course, this is part of the right's playbook, is to say, oh, there's this Biden crime family, and they've been unable to link those two things together. The bigger issue is this. We have this entire right-wing ecosystem of people who, in a very self-reinforcing way, promote a false or misleading representation of what's happening in the world. And they have done a very good job of using the internet and using social media.
And that leaves the mainstream media and the Democratic Party fighting an almost impossible fight. Here's how I put it to Philip on the show. It reminds me of the line from The Untouchables that the media has the same problem that the Democratic Party has.
Brings a knife to a gunfight.
The traditional media is playing by a traditional set of rules. The problem is that your counterparty here is not playing by the same set of rules. And that's it in a nutshell. What the mainstream media tries to do is hard. Go look up Philip's work on Hunter Biden, on how the Trump campaign really did work with Russia, or on debunking any of the pieces of vapor that right-wing politicians and media put out there. He's meticulous. He provides sources. He provides facts. And it takes a long time to explain and give all the details. The right-wing media, and the Republican Party, as if there's any distinction between them anymore, what they get to do is cheap and easy. It's free.
We are disadvantaged in a number of ways. Fox News, for example, if you have a cable subscription, then you are paying them money. The New York Post, they're a tabloid. They sell them at the subway. And Miranda Devine's, all of her articles are free. Mine are not. We are trying at the Washington Post to ensure that we can do these important stories, and it costs money. And we have to put our articles behind a paywall in order to get people to pay for them. When Jonathan Turley, the George Washington law professor, attacks me, everyone can read that for free. When I write about how he's misrepresenting facts in a case, it's a lot of people hit a paywall and then they don't read it. Misinformation broadly is free, and accurate information often costs money.
There's a saying that lies make it halfway around the world before the truth even gets its pants on. It's sometimes known online as Brandolini's Law, or the bullshit asymmetry principle. Right-wing media and the Republican Party co-conspirators, or is it the other way around, get to throw out the cheapest, easiest stuff and repeat it over and over again. And the mainstream media, well, they make plenty of mistakes. They get it wrong, but for the most part, they at least try to take things back to facts. But if there's one thing that's hopeful, it's that there are still more of us out there than them. Still more people who don't want to be manipulated by cheap speech. The best thing we can do is keep telling the truth and get it to as many people as we can. So help us do that. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and please subscribe to Blue Amp.